Hey, fellow YouTubers, JJ the Trucker coming to you from New York. Near the Pennsylvania border. I'm on I-90, so nowhere near New York City, not quite yet. Oh my goodness, where to begin? It's Monday right now. Hopefully I'll have this video uploaded and to you guys by this afternoon. It's about 9 a.m. right now. And man, I don't even know where to begin. Well, let's begin with the weather. So last I left you, it was boiling hot, 85 degrees in Laredo, Texas. And boy, I wish I had stayed there. Whew. So ended up getting a load, heading up to, well, Detroit. Let's just call it Detroit, right outside of Detroit. And as I, getting up there, I entered into Winter Storm Malcolm, a really slow-moving snowstorm. Not dumping a ton of snow, but enough, and it's slow-moving. So I entered into that. It's heading east, and I came up through the south, right in front of it. So it smacked the side of me as I'm heading north. I was driving through it all Saturday and Sunday. Every time I'd, get to the end of it, it'd be the end of my shift. I'd stop and it would blow over me, and then I'd start up again and go right through it again. Finally got to the end of it when I got to Detroit. And then, of course, it caught back up again and kind of strengthened, got a little bit bigger. And then I had to go east to Paw Paw, Michigan after that delivery. So I had to go through the storm again, opposite direction. Got to the end of the storm just to get the load to go, you guessed it, east. So I had to go through the storm again. Had just reached the beginning of the storm, or the front of the storm, last night, and it snowed all night, and then boom, this morning had to drive right back through it again. Oh man, it's just been nothing but snow. Light snow, fortunately. Nothing that's really slowed me down too much. This morning was the worst of it. Finally had lost the roads there in Pennsylvania. They didn't clear it off all that well. So we were slowed down to about 30. But that was about it. And it was for about an hour, I'd say. That's when I stopped and took that picture, if you saw any of the pictures on the social media. I just stopped for a little bit of a break and let the plows catch up. And so yeah, now look at the scenery, man. So snow already, part of the storm already came through here. And the storm's kind of been snow and a little bit of slush and ice, a little bit of ice. So now it's all sticking to the trees and everything. Man, this kind of scenery looks really nice. I like this. The roads are nice and clear now, so we're back up to speed. Whew. Fortunately, not a lot of traffic. A few of the major cities, but nothing big. So, all right, we're heading to Massachusetts, by the way. So, let's talk about the loads. The load going up to Detroit paid pretty well, except it was a real time crunch, deliver ASAP type of deal. So, I was literally running my full 11-hour clock, drive clock every day, only taking a 10-hour break. So the first day after getting that pickup from Laredo, ended up driving until 11:30 at night. And then started at 9:30 in the morning, drove all the way until about 9:30 at night, and started at 7:30, drive until 7:30. And when you do an 11-hour drive shift, it's going to take you about 12 hours because you've got your 30-minute break that you have to take, plus you've got, additional stops, fuel, restroom breaks, stretching, stretch out, etc. So usually takes about 12 hours. I will say that on the first 11-hour night, I actually drove for 11 hours and 15 seconds. So yeah, dang, I got a violation. By only 15 seconds, and I was pulled into the truck stop already. And I was coming to the stop to go off duty and just missed it. So what does that mean? Well, if I don't get pulled over for DOT inspection or anything like that, nobody checks my clock for the next, 8 days after that, then not a big deal. It comes, it goes, whatever. If they do, take a look at it and see it, then I get to, explain it, and it's only for a few seconds, so maybe they'll let it go, maybe they won't. I mean, for a few seconds, and I was in the parking lot, that officer would have to be in a bad mood. Man, trucks like this just kill me. I caught up to this truck pretty easily. I go to pass him, and there's like, oh, a prime truck's gonna pass me? I better speed up. I don't know if that's the reason why, but still, why do you speed up when somebody's getting ready to pass you after they've caught up to you? I don't know. It happens all the time, though. Anyway, all right, we got looks like a plow up here. Now I got another truck passing me, so let me slow a bit down here. So anyway, chances of me getting pulled in for DOT, considering it has yet to happen ever for me. I've never had a DOT inspection. Kudos to New York, by the way. Man, their roads look better than everybody else, especially after all this snow. Yeah, I've never been pulled in. Never had a DOT inspection, never had anybody check my clocks. Of course, now that I'm saying it, it's going to happen. Go figure. I'll let you know if that happens. Man. So now I ended up making it to that delivery in time. Got it there late at night, or later in the evening, I should say. Made the delivery, stayed there overnight. Already got the next load. This one, Paw Paw, Michigan to Massachusetts. This load is incredible. This is probably the highest paying rate I've ever received, especially on a per day basis. It was a drop and hook pickup, but it is a scheduled delivery time at the 90 or the receiver. But on a per day basis, yeah. So I talk about the rates. I never talk about specifically the money, because you can't really compare apples to oranges, and it gets complicated when you talk trucking. Like, if I mention a dollar amount, well, what does that include? What does that not include? There's so many different ways to calculate it. That's why I never mention the money specifically. I will be putting out my annual report, though, of pay pretty soon. I just got to get some time to get that together. But anyways, I always do mention, there's I wasn't even near the line. There's the rate, the average rate. Then below that is the minimum rate that, I'll accept. Unless there's a reason. And then there's the higher rate, which is what I, really prefer to go for. This one is paying double the average rate per day. And I'm like, whoa, that's really, really high. That's incredible. So what's the catch? Well, the catch is it's going to Massachusetts. And if you've been following me, once we're in Massachusetts, the rates coming out of there are bad. It's almost like being in Florida. It's pretty much the same as being in Florida. So, gonna have to take a low-paying rate out of there, and is what it is. But since they're paying me double to go in there, they could send me out of there for free. I'd be fine. Of course, they're not going to, but they could. They won't. So. Let's see what happens when I get up there. I am going to probably end up needing to take a 34, though, because I've been really pushing that clock. I've only got about 26 hours left as of the beginning of today, and 3 days of 0 hours coming back. So I'll probably have to take a 34. Hopefully what I'm hoping for is that I'll get one short load, like a 1 or 2 day load out of Massachusetts into a better area, use up the rest of my 70-hour clock, and then take a 34-hour reset and start with the fresh clock again. We'll see how that goes. Plans in trucking rarely work out. So, I'll get to the bunk. Everybody's asking about the bunk heater. And yeah, I definitely want to talk about the bunk heater, but before I do that, let's go back to these repairs that were made at the Peterbilt shop. So they got the repairs done. Well, they got what they broke, they fixed. Nothing else really got done. I haven't heard back from Peterbilt yet, but it's been the weekend and it's just Monday morning right now. So still waiting to hear back from them as far as, if they're going to cover the hotel costs. But they had to default the software, especially for the transmission, and I've noticed some changes. Changes I've noticed are, one, it doesn't shift, upshift as quickly. So I'm running higher RPMs when I'm running through the gears. I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, the higher RPMs are kind of, it's not like a car where, you run higher RPMs and that's your torque range. In the trucks, the torque ranges are lower in diesel engines. So I think that's just kind of wasting a little bit more fuel. I'm not really sure yet. Fuel mileage has been fine though, so that's good. Let's see, what else? The cruise, that's probably the biggest difference. The cruise control has been set back to a default. I guess with Prime, the way they have it is, there's a plus and minus. So you can go down, there's a minus where it'll go down to 60. If let's say your cruise is set to 65, and you're starting to go up a hill or you're coasting slightly downhill, it'll let you get down to 63 before it picks back up. That's a -2. There used to be a +5 where it would go up to 70 going downhill before it would, kick into gear and start slowing you down. Well, that's now at a, that was a +5. Now it's at a +2. So at 67, it kicks you into gear and starts slowing you back down to 65. Really back down to 63, which is annoying. So I really want to get that fixed. And here's the biggest one. The cruise control, normally, okay, so you can't have cruise control on when the wipers are on. But when I got the truck, I was able to set the wipers to the intermittent settings, at least the first 3 intermittent settings, with no issues. I could still use cruise. Like right now, I'm on intermittent 2, and I'd normally be able to use cruise. Now, nope, intermittent 1 kicks cruise off. So, like right now, there's just kind of road spittle going on. I'll turn it off right now. But even if of course, now a truck's passing me. But as soon as I turn it on, just to clear the debris and the stuff, it will disable cruise. Bing, cruise disabled, and it's disabled for 30 seconds after I turn it off. So, yeah, that's annoying. It's really annoying, so I want to get that fixed as well. So yeah, so if you are, if this happens to you in the shop, make sure they fix those parameters for you as well. And the security code, oh man. So I didn't talk about this before for security reasons, but the security code, when we start up our truck, we have to enter a security code, and that stopped working. And I noticed that stopped working when I went to Thermo King, and I came back to the shop because it was on my way back down to Laredo anyway. So I came back down to the shop, said you need to fix the security code. It has to be in there. They worked on it for an hour trying to get this thing, to get the security code back in. They're like, oh, we can't figure it out. We don't know what's going on. I've got it in here. It says it's in here. It's not working. I'm like, great. All right. You know what? I was kind of worried at this point. It's the same crew and everything that already messed everything up. So I was like, you know what? I will take it back to Prime and I'll have Prime fix it. In the meantime, I'll be extra cautious, make sure I take my keys with me and all that, like I already do anyway. But, so I'm going through all the settings later, a couple days later. I'm going through all the settings because I'm trying to figure, there's a new setting called ignition timer and some new stuff in there that I'm not familiar with. And as I'm going through all the settings, there it is, security, ignition security on or off, and it's in the off position. I turn it to the on position and boom, it's fixed. There's my security code. I mean, it was that simple, and they couldn't figure that out. I'm a little disappointed at that. I'm a little disappointed. So, yeah, Peterbilt fan club, I don't know. It's challenging. Peterbilt, as many people have said in the comments, Peterbilt has a reputation. It's a good reputation, but all it is a reputation. And reputations can change. Is this one changing? I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of negative stuff about Peterbilt lately, and I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. That they still, at least for me, have another 2.5 years to earn it back, but we'll see how it goes, man. All right. A lot of comments also, should have got a Cummins. Cummins have issues too, and they're a lot more expensive to work on. Man, when a Cummins has an issue, they're expensive. And again, it's the matter of reputation. An older Cummins, is better than a newer Cummins, and I've heard that in plenty of comments, seen that in plenty of videos, and Cummins definitely have their issues as well. So every truck, every engine has its pluses and has its minuses. It's the way it is. It's to me, it's, when it comes to just about everything, it's not whether or not you're going to have a problem, it's how is the problem resolved. Are you taken care of as a customer? And is the issue able to be resolved quickly, expediently, efficiently? Okay. So with Freightliner, I wasn't treated well as a customer. The issue wasn't really taken care of quickly. And here at Peterbilt, the expediently and efficiently, no. But they were very friendly, very nice, very courteous. I felt like I was being taken care of on a personal level. So at least that's 1 point up over Freightliner. I don't know. All right, let's get to this bunk heater, shall we? So the bunk heater. After the truck finally starts, and I am catching up to this truck again. Man. Anyways, after they get the truck started, and I get out of the shop, I head on over to Thermo King, about 20 minutes away in Dallas, and I figured, okay, they probably have to replace the unit or take it, and they had already told me over the phone, we rarely, take the units apart and fix them. We just replace them, and then, they send them back, and then they do all the taking apart and cleaning. All right, let's try this pass again here. We're down to 61 miles an hour. All right. So I figured, okay, they'll check it out, replace it. I drop the truck off there, walk over down the street to get some heat. I come back, and the mechanic's just sitting out, sitting there outside. I'm like, how's it going? He's like, it's fixed. I'm like, wow, that was fast. So I talked to him, and apparently it was a code. All they had to do is plug the computer in and reset a code. It was a timeout exceeded code. I'm like, okay, well, why did that happen? Well, could have been this, might have been that, could have this, maybe that. Basically, they didn't. I'm like, really? So it's been down for this long, and all it needed was a code reset that I couldn't do. I had to bring it in. And you guys have no idea why it couldn't out the first place. Okay, let's see how this goes. So, I used it the first night, and it worked, it was working and everything, until about 5 in the morning. Which, again, I've been driving late, so 5 in the morning, unlike my, normally that's my time I'm like, I'm already awake, and I'm running. But in this case, it was the middle of my night, and I wake up, I am freezing my butt off. I was not happy. And you can't just, start the truck up and get it warm. It takes, when it's cold out, from a cold start, it takes 35, 40 minutes to warm these trucks up. So, fortunately, I had my space heater, and plugged my space heater in. It wasn't that cold. I was able to sleep the rest of the night. It was fine. But yeah, the bunk heater is out again. And now I got to get back to another Thermo King. And so, yeah, not happy about that. And they never fixed the APU issue that I've been having in the first place. I told the guy, I was like, it still sputters, cold start is really, really rough, lots of white smoke. He tried to tell me, oh, well, you're overdue for a PM, performance maintenance or oil change, filters and all that. It says the filter's dirty, the oil's dirty, and we're looking at it, and the filter's not that dirty. It's a little dirty. and he replaced it for free. Thank you, I appreciate that. And I'm looking at the oil. I'm like, there's still color in this oil. It's not dirty. And how is this overdue for a PM when a PM isn't due for 2,000 miles or 2,000 hours? He's like, well, there's 7,000 hours on this. I'm like, no, that's 700 hours. You forgot to see the decimal point. It's 728.2, not 7,282. I can't believe he didn't even freaking know how to read that. I'm very disappointed in that. So he's like, well, I don't know. It's running fine now, but of course, we're in Dallas, Texas, where it's warm and can't really get a good cold start from that. So, yeah. So, anyways, haven't had to use the APU anyway because I've been idle in the truck, which uses about 6 gallons a night. 6 gallons in 10 hours. So yeah, just throwing money out the window by not using that APU and not having that bunk heater. So, yep. Anyways, that is what is going on with me. I hope you guys have been all right. Hope you guys have been safe out there and everything. And there's a lot going on right now in the country, and hope everything is going easy peasy lemon squeezy for all of you guys. Because overall, with everything else that's going on, I'm actually doing all right. I'm warm. I'm getting paid well. I'm well fed. Maybe a little too well fed. And things are going all right. So, all right, that is it. I definitely want to get back to some normal question of the week type stuff. I've had a lot of good question of the week type questions out there. Thank you guys for all that. But it's kind of hard to do those when I'm driving down the road, and very limited time to get these videos out to you right now. But let's see what happens during my 34-hour reset, if I get one. All right, talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching this feature presentation from me, JJ the Trucker. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up or two. I'd appreciate it. That way I know which videos you guys are enjoying. And you know what to do now. That's right. You see it right there. Click on my face. See what happens when you click on my face. You know you wanna. Other than that, check out some of my other videos for more great content, such as the one YouTube's recommending, the one I'm recommending, or for more free JJ the Trucker merch, check out the other video. Later.